Hey guys, so I need to rant about something. Do you guys remember a show called Wolfblood? It was on the same channel as H2O when it first started, around the same time. So I would see like promos for Wolfblood while I was watching H2O as a kid. Well, I started watching the show for the first time quite a while ago, and I got really into it. Well, after season 3, all of the main characters pretty much had left. And seasons 4 and 5 should have been a spin-off series of their own, because they changed the intro song, which they didn't change for the first 3 seasons, and they changed the whole style. Like, it feels like a completely different show with just a few minor characters in common with the first 3 seasons. And so really it should have been a spin-off series, because like if you've seen this show, it's basically a British show about werewolves, only they don't call them werewolves, they call them Wolfbloods. And in the first 3 seasons, there is in the first 2 seasons, there's Maddie and her parents, which are, Maddie's one of the main characters. And then there's Ridian, who is also Wolfblood. And Maddie and Ridian have this chemistry that everyone can clearly see, but the characters themselves don't seem to give it a second thought for a while. So at the end of season 2, they finally, admit their feelings for each other and agree to go on a date. But before that happens, Maddie and her family have to flee because some scientists found out their secret. So in season 3, it's just Ridian and his 2 human friends. Then his one Wolfblood friend ends up coming back, Yana. And, the show has, even though Maddie's gone, it still feels like the same show. It is still obviously the same show. They've still got Ridian, they've still got the 2 humans, Shannon and Tom. And they've even still got Yana, who only appeared in season 2 for the first time. And season 3 has a really good ending. Like, it feels like the end of a series. So much so that I didn't even know that there were more seasons. I didn't even look for more seasons. I thought it ended at season 3. But recently I came to find out that there are 2 more seasons. So when I started season 4, I'm like, is this even the same show? Because it didn't feel like the same show. Like, Tom and Shannon are gone. It's just Yana and a few humans that were briefly, scattered among the episodes. They were just side characters. And so basically these side characters become the new main characters. Plus there's a bunch of new characters. So with all these new characters and so few of the old ones, it feels like a spin-off and not a continuation. And so you can tell that it's, from the same writers and directors, and producers, because it's still the same universe, but it is too different from the first 3 seasons. And it would have been better as a spin-off series. So that's my rant. If you guys have seen the show Wolfblood, and if you haven't, you can actually find it here on YouTube. Ridian is played by Bobby Lockwood, and Maddie is played by Amy Kelly. Yana is played by Leona Vaughn. At least I think I'm saying her name right. And if you don't recognize any of these names, that's fine. I'm just letting you know so that if you look at like the cast, you know you found the right show. Mostly. Tom is played by Keeter Williams Sterling. That's a mouthful. And I don't remember who plays Shannon. Or any of the other characters. But yeah, those are just the ones that have been in the intros that I've seen 1,000 times. Because, you know, the first 3 seasons are amazing. It's an amazing show just from the first 3 seasons. And then seasons 4 and 5 are just okay. It's like the writers just kind of forgot what they were writing. And so those are my thoughts on it. If you have seen this show and you've also seen and noticed the difference between the huge difference between season 3 and season 4, let me know if you agree that it would have been better, because seasons 3 and 4 are still good, but they do not feel like the same show. Even though the werewolves are still calling themselves Wolfbloods, and we've got the similar characters, there's just too few similar characters, and with both the major characters gone that were like a main focal point of the first 3 seasons, and that would be Ridian, played by Bobby Lockwood. You know, with him gone, it just doesn't feel like the same show, and like the show isn't even taking place in the same area of Britain. Like seasons 1 through 3 take place in a town called Stonybridge, but seasons 4 and 5 do not take place in Stonybridge. We go from this small country town to a city. And, you know, it's not the same show. You know, it's like they keep trying to convince me it's the same show, you know, by calling it season 4 and 5 of Wolfblood. But it is not the same show. It would have been better if they had just ended it at season 3 and then done a spin-off. Because, like, seasons 1 through 3 were Ridian's story, mainly. Ridian and Maddie's story. But after he leaves to go reunite with Maddie at the end of season 3, that feels like the end. Because that is pretty much the end of his story, his journey. And then we're starting this new one. And it's a completely different show. I just needed to rant, and I don't even know how to process this, because I just rewatched the entire series, season 1 to season 5, and it just should have been a spinoff. I've said it like 1,000 times, but it should have been a spinoff and not a continuation of the series. You know, I still would have watched it, even if it was a spinoff. You know, if they gave it a different name and didn't try to include it with the original series, it just would have been better, because it would have made more sense. So that was that rant. I'm gonna go now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.